away, and today's conference is one more step towards that endeavor.
JNTU Hyderabad Vice Chancellor Professor Rameshwar Rao in his address wanted that the engineering courses should be designed with envision of 10 years. He informed that it is not advisable to respond to the situation and to prepare whenever they arise. Rameshwar Rao has told that the United States is preparing a massive program with a cost of $200 billion and number of countries are participating in it. In such big projects, communication becomes a vital part and IT will be helpful in them.
As you know, JNTU is one of the premier technological universities in India. We are focused towards offering quality technical education, especially in modern areas which will generate employment in state-of-the-art technologies. And that's the reason why, after a lot of deliberations, we have chosen this topic, especially to Professor Dande and Professor Prahalada and other people who have sponsored this conference, as I told you, which is being conducted for the first time. This is indeed a very small, very humble beginning, because this was planned just almost, I think, about 15 weeks back, and everybody has put in his best effort, including the students. Within this short span of 15 weeks, the students have come out with flying, say, MAVs, which will be demonstrated on the third day. During the next 2 days and today in the afternoon, there will be many eminent people who will be talking about the various technologies which go into the making of MAVs. So I don't want to preempt them. Suffice it to say that MAVs have got a lot of, say, applications in the near future, especially in view of the fact that they'll be able to do certain things which are not possible by human beings. Some of the applications and tasks what you can expect from MAVs are sea rescue searches from the air, border patrols, homeland security, law enforcement, monitoring of drug trafficking, monitoring and control of road traffic and transportation, crop yield prediction, drought monitoring, spraying of pesticides, inspection of power lines, bridges and barrages, observation of oil and gas pipelines, forest monitoring, fire detection, firefighting, relaying and broadcasting of mobile telecommunications, TV or radio programs in vulnerable, say, positions, tactical reconnaissance and operational support, landmine detection, operation in hazard or disaster zones, digital charting and mapping, mineral and archaeological prospecting, environmental and climate research, monitoring of air quality, meteorological studies and predictions. There are so many other, say, applications which are becoming feasible in view of certain newer, say, developments in other areas like biotechnology and nanotechnology, which will eventually get integrated with state-of-the-art sensors and low power, low cost, lightweight computing platforms. I would like to take this opportunity to also, tell what we have as a vision in order to much time, because one of the keynote speaker is required to go as early as possible. It will not take more than 10 minutes. So the effort towards teaching engineering education should envision the future at least 1 decade from present. That's the reason why whatever activities we take in the form of curriculum, say revision, and the special topics, seminars, conferences, what we conduct, it should try to improve knowledge in this area. At least 10 years in advance, it should be able to have a vision. Engineering academics and educationists should attempt to predict the roles engineers will play in the future and to position engineering education for what lies ahead rather than waiting for time to pass and then trying to respond. This has been the case, earlier, say about 3-4 decades back, when we used to only respond when there is a, say, opportunity for economic growth. But that's not so here. As of now, we have to go to the market with certain applications, and then only you will be able to grab the market. And here, what matters is the quality. The quality makes the difference between a winner and a loser. Engineering education curriculum should be driven by concern that engineering students of today may not be appropriately educated to meet the demands that will be placed on the engineer of, say, year 2022 and beyond. Without refocusing and reshaping the engineering learning experience, India's preeminence as producing quality engineering graduates and postgraduates could be lost.
In his speech, Defence Institute of Advanced Technologies, Dr. Prahlada exhorted the entrepreneurs of Hyderabad to make the city a hub of MAVs. He said that there are 3 airports in the city and the DRDO is ready to provide facilities free of cost to MVA developers. Prahlada said that since small and medium entrepreneurs taking interest in developing the MVAs, the DRDO has stopped the program.
Rameshwar Rao, Professor Sanjay Dande,